Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and today we're diving into something that's reshaping how businesses operate across Europe, specifically AI voice agents for customer service in Amsterdam. This isn't just about automation, it's about how enterprises are balancing cost, compliance, and customer experience in one of the EU's most competitive markets. Sam, we've been tracking this trend and the numbers are pretty striking.
They absolutely are. What's fascinating is that 35% of enterprises globally have deployed AI voice agents in customer service. That's a 180% jump since 2022. But here's what really matters. Amsterdam isn't just adopting the technology, it's doing it under the EU AI Act, which changes everything about how you implement these systems responsibly.
Right, and that's the tension we need to unpack. The EU AI Act classifies customer service AI as high risk, which sounds like a constraint. But you're suggesting it's actually becoming a competitive advantage?
Exactly. Forward-thinking companies aren't seeing regulation as a burden. They're treating compliance as a moat. When you build transparency, bias monitoring, and human oversight into your AI system from day one, you're not just avoiding fines, you're building customer trust. In the Dutch market especially, where data protection consciousness is exceptionally high, that's gold.
Let's talk money first, because that's often the biggest driver for enterprise adoption. What kind of financial impact are we actually seeing in Amsterdam businesses?
The Microsoft research from 2024 shows organizations reduce operational costs by 35 to 40%, while improving first contact resolution rates by 28%. Now, put that in Amsterdam context. Customer service reps cost $22 to $28 per hour. A mid-sized business handling 50,000 interactions monthly spends roughly $550,000 annually on salary alone. With AI voice agents, that drops to $330,000 to $360,000, and you're actually handling 60% more interactions. That's not just incremental improvement, that's transformative.
And the quality doesn't suffer? That seems almost too good to be true.
The key insight is that AI voice agents don't replace all human agents. They handle routine interactions. The 40% of complex calls that still need humans, those become genuinely high-value conversations. Employees are more engaged because they're not grinding through repetitive calls, and customers get better outcomes because humans focus where they actually add value. It's a virtuous cycle.
So the playbook is automation for volume, humans for complexity. Let me ask you about something real: proactive engagement. That feels different from traditional customer service. Walk us through what that looks like in practice.
This is where it gets really interesting. Instead of waiting for customers to call with problems, AI voice agents identify customers at risk of churning and reach out proactively. We saw a financial services company in Amsterdam do exactly this. They used AI to detect insurance policies expiring in 30 days and placed outbound calls. The system made 8,400 calls monthly with a 94% connection rate and 84% conversion rate.
What did that translate to in revenue?
Renewal rates jumped from 62% to 79%. That's $2.3 million in additional annual revenue retention from a customer base of 45,000. You simply can't achieve those numbers with humans alone because the economics don't work. You'd need people calling all day with lower success rates and higher burnout.
That's compelling. But Amsterdam is incredibly diverse. Lots of international customers and teams. How do AI voice agents handle that complexity?
Multilingual capability is built in. Modern systems handle Dutch, English, German, and other languages natively, recognizing language choice and cultural nuance automatically. For a city like Amsterdam that attracts global talent and customers, that's table stakes. But here's the bonus. These systems learn from interactions, so they improve over time, getting better at handling Dutch-specific context and regional preferences.
Let me push on the compliance angle again, because this is where enterprise teams get nervous. The EU AI Act is real, and it's not forgiving. How are companies actually implementing this safely?
The smart ones are embedding governance into architecture from day one. You need transparency. Customers know they're talking to an AI. You need bias monitoring because the Act specifically requires it. You need human escalation paths and audit trails. It sounds heavyweight, but here's the thing. 67% of European consumers actually prefer regulated, transparent AI. They trust it more. So compliance isn't friction, it's trust building.
So in Amsterdam specifically, is there an advantage to going all in on EU compliance early?
Absolutely. Companies that implement EtherBot solutions with full EU compliance now have a playbook that works across Europe. When regulations tighten elsewhere, and they will, these organizations are already compliant and battle-tested. That's a defensible competitive position. Plus, they can market it. Dutch customers value responsible AI. It's not a cost center, it's a brand asset.
Let's talk implementation strategy. How does an enterprise actually begin this journey without getting overwhelmed?
Start with high-volume, low-complexity interactions, order confirmations, billing inquiries, appointment scheduling. These are perfect pilot scenarios. You learn the technology, build internal expertise, and measure outcomes without betting the company. Then you layer in more complex use cases. The enterprises that succeed are methodical about this. They don't try to automate everything at once.
And what role does what you mentioned earlier, AI lead architecture, play in scaling this?
That's the operational backbone. You need someone thinking holistically about how multiple AI systems integrate with your call center, CRM, knowledge management, and compliance infrastructure. One-off implementations fail. A lead architecture approach ensures systems talk to each other, data flows cleanly, and you're building scalable infrastructure, not just patching problems. That's the difference between a pilot that works and a transformation that lasts.
What's the one thing you'd tell enterprise leaders in Amsterdam who are still on the fence?
The 35 to 40% cost reduction and 28% improvement in first contact resolution are real. But the deeper win is what you do with the resources you free up. Your best people stop handling repetitive calls and start solving customer problems strategically. That's where innovation happens. And in a market as competitive as Amsterdam, that's your long-term differentiator.
Sam, thanks for breaking this down. Listeners, if you want the full deep dive, numbers, case studies, implementation playbooks, head to etherlink.ai and find the complete article on AI voice agents for customer service in Amsterdam 2024. We'll have the link in the show notes. Thanks for joining us on EtherLink AI Insights.
Thanks, Alex. Great conversation.